Hi, welcome, and really thank you for joining in today or for listening in, whether you're listening live or whether you're listening on record later on. If I look at the world today around us, you will find that this is a world full of instant today. Everything is needed instant. Instant payments, instant entertainment, and instant gratification. That is really one of the most important things that's happening around us. Most of us are used to having business models also that are catering to this kind of client experiences where our clients want everything instant. Imagine the kind of payment industry that we have developed around us. Till about 8 or 9 years ago, checks used to be 14% of the transaction value in the country. Today they're down to 3%. So where are the payment systems going in our country? Can you imagine? And this is happening world over. We also live in the world of instant transportation. You'd want to take a guess in your mind how many million rides every day we have in the instant share ride apps in the country? We have close to about 3.5 million rides every day on the sharing applications today. I, for one, do not at my home watch anything apart from the OTT channels that we have. The world of entertainment has also become instant. Gone are the days when appointment television really used to be the thing. How many of you remember watching the Chitrahar at an appointed time? That is no longer the world that we live in. That's no longer the world that our children live in. So, instant payments, instant experiences, instant entertainment. But it's very important for you to note that 81% of your customers will choose to leave if they don't have a great experience. That is one data point. The other data point, which is very famous, and you all know that it is 5 times more expensive to acquire a new customer versus retaining the existing one. The third data point that you must share with your sales team is that the conversion rate with an existing customer for a new product is about 70%. Versus that, the conversion rate for acquiring a new customer or converting a new customer is about 5%. Now, can you imagine the difference between 5% and 70%? And that is why all of us in businesses, and I work with IBM, including at IBM, we want to create great experiences for our customers so that we can retain them and so that we can do greater businesses with them. So while I spoke about the experiences, you all will now agree with me that great experiences are key to having great business. We also need to be smart about creating these experiences. And these experiences cannot be created alone. We need a very, very good backbone of data and AI to be able to create these experiences, and that's what we want to talk about today. Have you thought about how these experiences can get created and the data backbone that we ought to have? We require reams and reams of data for us to enable our frontline staff to answer just the query if a customer has. Now imagine that you actually want to serve a hyper-personalized real-time experience. So think about inside your organization. How is this data organized? Is it available to people for them to sort through? How long does it take for them to sort through the answers that are available to them? And therefore, what kind of access they ought to have and how much empowerment they need to have to be able to answer just a simple query that a customer may present them with. Just to give you a sense of the data that's available, can you imagine on Twitter how many tweets come in a day? I actually have that data jotted down over here. You have about 500,000 tweets per minute on Twitter. Okay? 16 million text messages are sent every minute. Now just imagine your own inbox of an email. How many emails you used to get 10 years ago versus the ones that you get today? I get about 1,000 emails in a day. Imagine the kind of information overload that I have between WhatsApp, between social media channels and the emails that we have. Now imagine all this data that is getting generated needs to be organized, needs to be sorted through for us to be able to create a great customer experience. Now let's ask ourselves, how smart are really the experiences that we are creating? Is our focus still on selling products or is our focus on selling experiences and creating smart, faster processes inside the organization? Let's look at some industry benchmarks. There is some research that shows that 50% of your customers actually do not receive the experience that they desire. Now you may say that yes, half of them get it, but the opportunity really lies in improving for the other half who are not getting the experiences that they want. What does that mean? What that means is that your customers want to interact with you on a channel of their choice, at a time of their choice, and they want a personalized experience. Now, if you ask me today, most of the times I face this issue with customer service that they work Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday, whereas I want to interact with them on a Sunday. Most of the times they work 9 to 5, whereas I get off at work and I want to talk to them in the night or in the evening. And I want an answer to my query. I don't want to be given a generic answer. That's the choice that your customers also want. At any channel, at any point of time, and a personalized experience. While we're talking about industry benchmarks, some of you will recall that you always get quoted when you go to conferences data on so and so serves answers in a minute, it takes 10 seconds, it takes 15 seconds. But there are times when you would have personally experienced that people are not able to solve your problems for days. Be it an electronic service provider, be it a retail organization, sometimes even airlines. And if we were to look at industry averages, and if we were to average out these seconds, with the amount of days that is taking, the average actually across the world is about 24 hours. It takes about 24 hours for a first response to an internal support ticket. Now, that's the kind of averaging out that is happening. So, while there are great organizations who do it in seconds, there are also organizations who take days. The same great organization for the regular queries may take seconds, but there may be those queries that they are not able to solve for days. This is the side as far as the customer is concerned. So, they want instant gratification, they want instant answers. But what do your employees want? Because ultimately, we cannot service the customers that we have until and unless we empower the employees. So when we spoke to the employees, we found that employees also want to be able to assist the customers at a channel of their choice. They also want to be able to assist at any time. They also want, but the employees want a system which can instantly guide them to provide the answers, to solve the query, and the one that also empowers them to take the decision and make the customer happy. They want to make your customers happy. So by now you've realized that your employees want to create a great experience for your customers want a great experience, and half of them are not getting it. How do you create these smart experiences? And you need to do it so that your customers fall in love with you. You can only create these experiences by ensuring that you have data and AI backup systems. What I mean by backup system is not a backup system. What I mean by that is data that backs all the decision making that we have. There's quintillion data points that are available. In the last 2 years alone, 90% of this data was made available. And you need to also have structured data and unstructured data talking to each other. So every ticket that is raised, every request that is made, these are all data points that you require to create these great experiences for your customers. Therefore, you need to think, how will you collect the data? How will you analyze the data? And how will you organize the data? And then only you will succeed. And when I talk about data, all of you are already thinking that this is leading to AI. Of course it is leading to AI. But the point is, the questions that you need to ask yourself is that AI is not just a word, artificial intelligence. All of us understand it differently. What does it really need to do? And for that, you need to ask 3 questions. Okay. One is, you want to predict. Is your AI able to predict? Companies need to predict, and that prediction will lead to smarter experiences. Second is, there is a lot of value in automation. Is your AI able to automate? The process of this whole prediction, analyzing, etc., needs to be automated. You should not require, more and more intervention for that data. And the third question that you need to ask yourself is, how much time is it taking? Is this whole thing of analysis and automation and prediction, is it optimized to the minimum amount of time that is required for doing so? These are the 3 questions that you need to ask whenever you are undertaking AI projects or the starting point of a business project where AI is going to be deployed. The point that I'm making is that if your AI lacks the ability to predict, lacks the ability to automate, lacks the ability to optimize, or any one of them, then it's actually not AI. Then it's actually a dumb chatbot that one is talking about. So AI can create transformational customer experiences, and it is not equal to a dumb chatbot. Remember that. When I talk about intelligent AI, I want to really give you 2 specific examples today. One example is of a project debater, right? And it's a very famous project that IBM has now, where AI actually learned how to argue with a human being on a certain topic, which means that the AI had the capability of absorbing all the language, everything that was written previously, all the secondary research, and then being able to form newer arguments instantaneously, with a world famous debater. Now, when you look at things like these, and these video links, can be made available to you, even if you search for Project Debater and just Google it, you will get to this. This is an example of a smart AI, an AI which is able to process language, engage with humans in a debate. Now, imagine that kind of an intelligent AI creating great customer experiences for you. And that's what you need to keep in mind when you're deploying AI. And the second example that I want to give you is of Simon. In fact, a few days back, I wrote on my LinkedIn about Simon. It actually stands for Crew Interactive Mobile Companion. It has been deployed for astronauts. And apart from everything that it does for astronauts, keeping them company, giving them advice, giving them all the answers that they need, I think the most important thing why it is close to my heart is that a social researcher actually gave it an MBTI personality. A lot of you will be familiar with the Myers-Briggs personality types. There are 16 of them, and each one of us can be categorized. Some of us may have actually appeared for the test. Now, can you imagine that there is Simon, the chatbot, which is meant for astronauts, who actually has an MBTI personality. So that's the power of great AI. The next chart that I'm showing you here is actually, now from the intelligent AI, I want to bring you back to what happens, in an IVR system or an unintelligent, chatbot. You will look at the process that is there, on the chart, here, and you will notice that that's the kind of query types that we run. But that's not what AI can do. AI can do more interesting stuff. Just wait for the next slide. Now imagine here, and you look at the statements given at the bottom. A customer does not want to listen to an IVR and say, press 4 for this and press 5 for this. What they want to do is to be able to say in my own language. For example, if you were in Maharashtra, you will say that, Mera credit card haravle, right? And that's what you want your chatbot to understand. Now imagine the Project Debater kind of a chatbot powered by that kind of an AI versus what we are used to seeing. That's what you should aim for when you're looking at the customer service. Now, why should you do that? Well, we have enough case studies to demonstrate to you that if you deploy intelligent AI, you can actually lead to business results which will make a difference. You can increase NPS, customer satisfaction is really important. You can reduce cost. You will have happier employees. You will be able to generate new revenue systems, and you will be definitely improving the new user experience along with your existing customer experience. There are enough case studies over there, right? And more importantly, you should not be hiring a PhDs in your team to be able to deploy this AI and use this AI. Your business team should be able to imagine and do things with the AI, which is an intelligent AI. And I just refer to NPS. I'm not just saying that. I'm going to request the team to play the video for the Royal Bank of Scotland, where we did extensive work. 40% of their inbound queries were powered by IBM Watson. And what happened as a result? As a result, there was a 20% increase in their NPS. So please watch the video.
Customers today demand efficiency and immediacy. For more than 290 years, RBS has had a fabulous tradition of serving our customers brilliantly, and we're absolutely determined to uphold that. Cora transforms the service we give to our customers. It makes it effortless.
The RBS commitment is clear. It wants to be the number one for customer services, and part of that journey is going to be met by the introduction of digital services.
We wanted to make it easy to get help without customers having to pick up the phone or look for answers in too many places.
Cora takes the routine stuff off our plates and helps us be brilliant in the moments that matter most to our customers.
The great thing about a virtual agent is you can see all the conversations that she's having with customers.
When developing Cora, we analyse data to determine the most commonly asked questions.
I don't recognize this transaction. How do I pay my bills online?
I want to change my address.
Cora's trained with over 200 customer intents and has over 1,000 responses to those intents. For simple questions,
I'd like to check my balance.
Cora responds with the answer straight away.
For more challenging questions, we offer guidance to the customer so that they can help themselves. And for really complicated questions,
How do I make my first mortgage payment?
Cora seamlessly hands off the customer to an agent. When customers get to me, I have their information already.
The customers help Cora by interacting with it. That allows us to understand where there are problems and where we can enhance the performance.
So we've had to teach Cora how customers ask questions. Customers don't talk in bank speak. So they say things such as, I'm moving house, not I need a mortgage.
I got my new card. What's next?
Can you set up my card for me?
How do I pay someone new?
We've been able to double Cora's knowledge base with feedback from customers, feedback from colleagues, help from IBM. And of course, that takes great teamwork, is what's made the proposition even stronger. We've increased her knowledge base by 100%. I mean, that's wonderful progress in 12 months.
Seeing the benefits to customers is really the icing on the cake. I think our AI journey has been fantastic and is going to allow us to create new products and new benefits for our customers for years to come.
So guys, remember, smart AI, instant experiences, create wonderful experiences to retain your customers, ask the questions what your AI can do, it needs to be smarter, and remember, it can do what it did for our Royal Bank of Scotland, it can do also for you. So thanks for joining in.